So if you're like me, maybe you've used this pandemic as an excuse to learn some new skills or take up a new hobby. In my case, I learned a lot about screen printing and 3D printing and woodworking, but I needed a space to do all those things. Also this year, my wife and I moved into a new house, and so I saw a chance to turn my new one-car garage into a space to do all those things. And I thought it'd be a fun little video to show you where it was and what it is now at the end of the year 2020. If you've seen some of my recent videos, the space probably looks familiar. It's just a one-car garage, probably like 250 square feet total. Really not a lot of space to do anything, so I kind of had to plan this out extensively. And I actually ended up using Blender to kind of help me see how much room I had and what I needed to do to make it all fit in this space. And so once I had a better sense of how much room I had to work with, then I started building the workbenches. And that's kind of where the woodworking came in, because before this I knew nothing about building anything. I didn't even have tools. I just knew that I needed some workbenches, so I built them. And I actually used Blender a little bit to help me figure out what all the pieces would look like and how to put it together. And for the first things I've ever really built with my hands, I think they turned out pretty good. But then after the third workbench, I wasn't done actually, because I knew I needed another workbench for my printing press. I very quickly realized that the amount of space was going to be a challenge, and I realized if I had a mobile workbench that I could put the printing press on top of, I could move that freely wherever it's more convenient for me. Especially if you have 4 screens on the press and you're turning it, there's just not enough room next to the wall for it to move freely. So now I can pull that out, I can put it over somewhere else where the screens can move freely. It's just super convenient. And I knew that I was going to dedicate this whole side of the room to screen printing, and I knew I was going to need some shelving for all the inks and equipment and supplies that I was going to need. And then at the end of the table I left enough room for a shelving unit to store blank shirts. And then I've got my penny boards over here, which don't really serve any functional purpose to this workshop, but I'll tell you, sometimes it's really a chore to get from one side of the room to the other, so, you know, having these penny boards here really speeds up that process. And then there's the exposure unit, which I feel like I could make a whole different video just on that, on how I built it. You know, I knew I was gonna need an exposure unit for screen printing, but they are crazy expensive. Like 2-3 grand for like a decent one. So I said to myself, I can just build one. You could get a light, you know, some glass, you know, just, you know, build a box around it. It's fine. So that's what I did. And I gotta say, I am shocked at how well it works. The only issue that I see is maybe it's a little too small. I know down the road we want to do bigger graphics, bigger screens, and, you know, we're gonna need a bigger unit for that. So I am gonna have to eventually build a bigger one, which I'll probably make a video for that. And then I decided to put up this chalkboard wall, partly as a decorative aspect to the room, but also somewhere where I could put up notes or lists. You know, we keep a list of the things that we need, a list of the different colors that we've been mixing together. If we want to try to recreate those colors, it's good to have like a recipe written down somewhere. And that's really what the chalkboard wall is for, is to just write notes and keep track of stuff. Before 2020, I have just a little bit of screen printing experience. You know, I've been in bands, and bands need merch. And, you know, as a DIY band, what do? You make your own shirts. And so, I don't know, before all of this stuff, I learned just the basics of screen printing. And so taking that little bit of experience and building on it this year has been quite a journey. I started off with this single color press that I think I got from Ryonet probably 10 years ago. You know, that's fine, but obviously I need more than one color eventually, so I ended up getting one of the Riley Hopkins presses, also from Ryonet. You know, it works pretty good. I think it was probably $400, maybe $500. My whole philosophy for screen printing this year has been spend the money when you have to, but if you feel like you can get away with building it yourself, I say just do that. Anyway, look at me, the total newbie giving advice on screen printing. Hopefully my newbie tips help you a little bit if you're trying to get into screen printing. Again, I'm a noob, I don't know what I'm doing. I have maybe a year of experience, but if you're like me and you're trying to do the thing without spending a ton of money, I say just try to figure out those solutions on your own. I think it'll help you in the long run. I know this isn't my normal type of video where I talk to the camera. Unless you're a longtime subscriber of mine, I used to talk about movies, talking to the camera like this, but lately I have not been doing that. I don't know, this doesn't really feel natural to me, talking to a camera, so I don't know. But if this is the kind of thing you like, maybe I can make some more videos like this. I'm not very good at outros. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do those things, I guess. I don't know, man. I suck at YouTube. Okay. Bye.